Yeah, there's been talk of along the same vein. There's been whispers of because it's Darryl and because Houston seems to be going through like a Tillman Fertitta led, I don't know, cheapness or some level of like conserving money or whatever it is, not wanting to pay. They never really dipped into luxury tax or anything, but there's been talk of James Harden as like a natural sort of evolution of a trade piece. You're not a Harden guy, right?
I do like Harden actually a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to give credit before we get into this. Lyle emailed us and said, let me get the actual email so I can give him credit. He said, I need both of you to say yes or no. No sitting on the fence. Would you trade Ben Simmons for James Harden?
I think the answer is absolutely.
You have to.
You have to. Yeah. I think Harden and Embiid would be just a ridiculous pairing.
And James Harden is one of the few best offensive players ever in the history of the sport.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting. I think there was a Kevin O'Connor piece a while ago about how Harden used to be in Oklahoma City. Like he used to fly around screens and used to use like off-ball cutting and stuff because he wasn't the guy. And now he just stands there, and he's still that good without standing there. And so like it's a weird. As far as like a pleasant watch, I would love to see a little bit more juice to his game if we were to have him. But like he's James Harden, man. He's so good. I'd be interested to see what him and Embiid would look like and other guys. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Houston is dying to trade one of the best offensive players ever right now. But
no. My guess would be they're a little more eager to trade Russell Westbrook than they are James Harden.
Yeah, but Harden wants Westbrook there, and I also don't think like Harden is dying to go play for his GM again. Like that doesn't seem like a real relationship that is anyone gives much of a shit about.
I can't wait to get to Philadelphia so I can see the GM once a week. Like, what is that even about, right? Yeah. But I do think he would, depending on what they do in Houston, the desire for James Harden to stick around while they dismantle whatever chance they had also may be slim. So I don't know.
In a world where we talked about the Chris Paul trade, the Oladipo trade, I don't think a Chris Paul trade is impossible. We know that John Morey loves Chris Paul, and I was thinking about a bigger picture. Oladipo is a different story, and we can get into that. But like, I was thinking about Darryl as the executive version of LeBron, and not in the way that he plays or anything, but in the way that like when LeBron comes to your team, you're gonna have a good chance of doing a bunch of special stuff, and by the time it's over, the cupboard is going to be empty. And I think that Darryl is a little bit the same way in that like he sees a window to win now. And he's trading draft picks. He's trading young guys, whatever it takes to get like the guys that he needs to maximize your chances at winning a championship, like in the window that it's possible. Which I would guess with Ben and Embiid is in like the next like 4 or 5 years.
Be careful what you say with now, though. He might not see the window to be winning in 2021.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm such a draft guy, and Darryl is not a guy who makes picks. Like he's the guy who trades picks to get like the elite talent. Now I don't know because they already have the two type stars in place where they were still kind of like searching for that second one around Harden in Houston for a couple years. Maybe that's not the case here, but I'm not saying he's going to do the same exact thing, but I do wonder like, if there's a trade to be had and Darryl trades like all the young guys, a bunch of picks for the next like four every other year for the next like 5-6 years, it's gonna be weird for me because I'm such a big draft guy. But Darryl's done a good enough job of getting undrafted free agent talent over the years where he thinks the draft, judging by the moves, is a little bit overrated. I think we talked to him about it a little bit when he was on the podcast a few months ago. And so I wonder if that he would be more likely to use those types of sweeteners over and over again in a way that might, as a arbiter of truth, rock solid arbiter of truth, upset me a little bit. But he's a guy that I trust, and I will, I guess, trust him in that way.